missed the chance to improve rail services in the east of England. On the eve of its annual conference, the Labour transport spokesman has told BBC East we need a partial renationalisation and a cap on rail fares.
Labour think they've found an issue which will play well with commuters in this region. Despite small improvements in recent years, there are still regular complaints about the quality of service, particularly on the Greater Anglia line, which runs from Norfolk through Suffolk and Essex and into London. Labour say it's proof that privatisation isn't working. It's time for governments to intervene and put the public back in charge again.
What we're trying to do is have a railway that puts the interests of passengers first, not profits. So we want to have a cap on rail fares. We want to allow a directly operated railway to bid against the private sector train operators. And we want to devolve rail services to local communities to run them in the interests of the economic areas that they serve.
The party points to the success of the East Coast Main Line. Taken back into public ownership after National Express pulled out, it's made money and customer satisfaction levels have risen. Labour wants to see more publicly run companies bidding to take over unpopular franchises. But those who support privatisation say if that happened, there wouldn't be enough money to fund improvements to the network.
What happens when a company takes on a franchise is essentially that they put up the money to get things like new carriages. And that's what we need, particularly on the Norwich to London line. We need that throughout East Anglia. We need that investment coming in to get us a better railway.
There is still confusion over exactly how Labour's policy would work. Many in the industry say partial renationalisation doesn't make sense.
This is rather muddled thinking. It would have been much simpler simply to say, let the franchises run out, we'll take them back in-house and recreate a kind of British rail.
Several of Labour's parliamentary candidates in Norfolk are openly calling for the full renationalisation of the railways. But Ed Miliband won't go that far, worried it might scare some voters. But even calling for partial renationalisation means voters will have a choice. Has privatisation worked for the region's railways, or is it time for something different? Andrew Sinclair, BBC Look East.
And you can see that interview with Mary Cray in full in the Sunday Politics, which will be live at the Labour Party conference. And Andrew will be here later in the programme with his analysis of what the Scottish referendum means for us here in the East.